The freshwater drain is located underneath the front side. There's a label on the outside that says fresh drain, and if you go under the trailer, you'll see the drain right there. In that position, it's open and draining. In this position, it's closed. So go ahead and screw your fill adapter onto your hose. I'm using a garden hose, but you'll probably want to use a RV water hose. That way it doesn't have the bacteria in it from a garden hose. It's designed specifically for drinking water. But for this purpose, I'm just going to use a normal garden hose. You screw your adapter on and make sure that the valve right here is in the off position. And when you go ahead and turn the valve on, it's gonna let the water come out. And I would let it run for a couple of minutes just to get all the bacteria water out of your hose, so you got good, clean, fresh water flowing. Then shut it off, and then come over to your water intake and insert the hose, and then just slowly open this to start to fill your tank. It'll tell you how much water it can take at once, because if you start giving it too much, it'll start leaking out. Now while it's filling, there's a couple of ways that you can monitor your tank and stop it when it gets to be full. You can open up the access door here and take a peek at the tank itself. You can start to see the water line at the tank. Pretty easy to see as it gets a little fuller. It's best to travel with an empty tank, just so you don't have the extra weight of the water, and then fill your tank at your campsite if you want fresh water. The tank monitoring system is located underneath the left bench at the dinette, and if you just come over and you press the fresh, it'll tell you what percentage of the tank is full. Right now it's at 7%. After your tank is full, come to your water pump access and hot water access. This is your water pump, and make sure that the valve that opens the lines for your water pump is in the open position, just like that. And if you forget which is open and closed, there is a little label on the side here that tells you. Now if you're going to use the fresh water tank and the water pump and not the city water hookup, which is right here, then come inside, and to the right of the hot water tank you'll see that there's another valve that the city water comes into the main pipes. And what you do is just reach in and turn that into the off position like that. Better look at it. It's in the off position now. And that closes off the city water from the system if you're going to use the water pump. Before you introduce water into the lines, you want to make sure that your gray water tank is closed, so that this lever is pushed in this way, and that way you can open this and see that the gate is closed inside. Same thing with your black water tank. Now before you turn your water pump on, I like to open up the cold water tap just to allow water to start flowing through the system. So just open up your cold water tap. And then you want to go down to your pump switch over here on the right. It's labeled pump. Go ahead and just turn that on. You'll hear the motor start working. Then you should see water start coming out the cold water system. So you can turn your cold water off. and the pump will shut off when the pressure reaches the right pressure in the system. Now I would go through and bleed all the air out of your system by turning on the cold water on each one of your sinks. Same with your shower. And I like to lay the shower right by the drain in the pan and then just turn the shower on. Now in order for the hot water to work, your propane has to be on. So you can see the two-way valve is pointing to the left tank here, which is the tank we're going to start with. It's an automatic, so if this tank runs out, it'll actually switch over to the other tank automatically. So you want to open up the valve all the way to allow the propane to go into the system. It takes a little bit to get the propane into the system once you turn it on. There's air in the lines. So to flush the air out, I recommend lighting a burner. And the way you want to do that is before you turn the burner on, get a flame going, hold it up to your burner, then slowly turn your valve until it lights. And it may try to blow your flame out. The flame will be very weak at first. Just keep the flame going until the blue flame stays lit all the way around. Then you'll know you have the right amount of gas in the lines. Once you get a solid blue flame all the way around and it doesn't go out when you take your lighter away, then you know you've got a good amount of gas in the lines. Make sure that your battery door for the hot water tank is connected, and there's a little switch at the bottom here that locks it in place. Then go ahead and turn on your hot water. Get the air out of that system. And now I'm getting hot water in the lines. To hook up city water, you want to hook up the hose, preferably a water approved hose, drinking water approved hose, to your city water inlet here. And then you want to go over and turn the valve off that goes to your water pump. So just turn it like that, and then turn the valve on that's back in here for your city water. And you can see it now, and it follows the pipe straight up and down, and there's an on and off on the pipe that'll show you that it's on. And if you're going to use city water, make sure that you turn your pump switch off. Then go ahead and turn the water on. Okay, this is the Sea Level 2 tank monitoring system. It's very simple. If you want to check the level of your freshwater tank, you press the freshwater button, and it gives you a percentage. So right now the freshwater tank is 18% full. If you want to check the gray water tank, you press the gray button, and it's 40% full right now. If you want to check the black water tank, press black. Right now there's nothing in the black water tank. The battery button here will tell you the current voltage of the battery, which is 13.2 volts. And then if you press this button right here that's labeled pump, that turns the pump on. And when the pump is on, the green light will come on just like that. Okay, I'm going to show you how to start the refrigerator. The first thing you want to do is press the on-off, press the on button there, and it'll go through a cycle test where all the lights will flash. And it should come up to auto. That means that it's sensing If it's plugged into shore power, it's going to run on AC. See, it just switched over to AC there. You can manually change it to DC by pressing this button right here in the middle, and then it'll switch over to DC. Okay, so if you're on DC and you want to switch it over to gas, what you need to do then is press the button, switch it back to AC, and then it will go to auto mode over here. And then you press the auto button and it'll switch over to gas. You'll hear it clicking as it's igniting outside. And then the clicking will stop once it lights. Okay, lighting the oven. There is no pilot light in this Princess stove because of its age. And so you have to light the oven when you want to use the oven. And the way you do that is put one hand on the oven knob up here so that you're ready to turn that, but don't turn it on. And then get your lighter down here, and you want to put your lighter up to the burner, and then go ahead and light a flame, and then turn your oven burner on, and that'll light the oven burner below. And that's all there is to it. When you want to turn it off, you just turn the oven valve off and the burner will go out. Okay, when you're ready to use the toilet for the first time, you want to open up the water valve, which is right down here. Turn it counterclockwise to where the valve follows the flow of the pipe here. So you want to just push down a little bit to let some water in the bowl, stop it, push it down all the way to flush the toilet. And that's all there is to that.